We're looking forward to some great racing here in race 11A. The winds have picked up a little bit, so the boats are getting ready and we are in the sequence. Bringing you great aerial coverage today from Sparky's video with Sparky Sorensen. As the boats approach about the final 10 seconds, they inch up to the line and get ready to take off for the first leg of race 11A. And the gun is up. Looks like a nice clean start here today. Boats are spread out all across the line. Our race director Mark Foster and Chip Till did a fantastic job of setting the line. A couple boats are already splitting off to port, trying to pick up some wind up the course. We got about 10 boats headed into the dock. As they come off, they can tack for the obstruction, but they do have to give way to starboard boats. The white buoy you see there is a no-wake buoy, so it is considered an obstruction. So boats have to give room to other boats to go around it, but it is slower to go around it. So it's just one of the interesting obstacles we have here at Bass Pro Shop. The fleet's very close as they head up to the first windward mark. You can see the yellow boat there. That's Mark Gullison, along with Peter Allen on the left-hand side of the screen. But all the boats coming up underneath, they're all about even. Looks like those outside boats are trying to make it to what we call the lay line so they can go around the mark without tacking. It'll be interesting to see if they can make it. The boats are in A-rig this morning, so they're moving through the water at a fairly good clip. Some really close passes there for the port boats on the starboard side. Looks like your first boat to come around here is the white boat at the bottom of the screen, and that's going to be John Tishingham. Mark Dix comes and makes a great move right behind him. So you got John Tishingham with Mark Dix and Mark Gullison all rounding the windward mark at nearly the same time. They head to the offset and head downwind. Other boats that are coming in are Jerry Warren Brower, Jocko Kaiser, Eric Rosenbaum, Peter Allen, Derek Priestley. There's Gary Bull and USA 71, Des Fairbank and boat number 1, Peter Baldwin, Steve Washburn, Phil Burgess. There's Mark Cooper and his distinctive Texas boat. As our aerial coverage heads downwind for the first downwind run of race 11A. Looks like John Tishingham's got a nice lead down to the first leeward mark rounding. They're going to go back upwind, go back downwind, and finish. You got John Tishingham in 151, followed by Mark Dix and Mark Gullison from Long Beach, California. Tishingham rounds the inside gate. It is a gate. And Mark Dix rounds just after him. Mark Gullison also choosing to go the inside. Jerry Brower goes to the outside. Try to find a lift. There's Jocko Kaiser, Peter Allen. Looks like Buzz Coleman there. Eric Rosenbaum rounding. Pretty tight racing as the whole entire fleet's rounding within about 10-15 boat lengths of one another. It's just great one design racing out here at Bass Pro today. Steve Landau heads to the outside in USA 112, but the leaders are going right up the middle of the course on port tack. John Tishingham still leading the way with Mark Dix and Mark Gullison battling it out for second. Peter Allen on the right-hand part of your screen, also in the hunt. Looks like we got our race 11B winner Phil Burgess trying to stay up in the A fleet. Eric Rosenbaum there at the top of the screen, also in the hunt. But John Tishingham motoring right through the waves and headed to the second leg of the windward mark. John's been sailing fantastic so far in this championship. Tacks on to starboard ahead of Mark Dix and Mark Gullison. Our winds today are at about 7 knots picking up. Forecast is for the winds to pick up later in the afternoon. We're probably going to be in the B rig once it hits about 12 to 15 knots. But right now the boats are in A rig and moving nicely through the water. We've had some fantastic one design racing so far, but it's a nice shot of John Tishingham leading the way for the fleet up to the second windward mark. Looks like the committee set a fantastic course here today. The boats are splitting up nicely. Got some good tactical racing. As we got John Tishingham coming in on port tack ahead of Mark Gullison and Mark Dix on starboard. Looks like he's going to be first to the second windward mark in the final downwind leg. He comes out of the screen here. You can see a nice shot of Mark Dix and Mark Gullison there on opposite tacks. There's Tishingham coming into our picture, heading to the offset. Mark Dix tacks nicely underneath, along with Mark Gullison, and they both head off second and third to the offset and head downwind for the final downwind leg. Just a fantastic battle between 55 and 33 as they head around the offset and accelerate downwind. Dragonflight is a very fast boat downwind, but there's not much separating these two boats as they head to the final leeward gate, still led by John Tishingham. As the wind picks up, they'll actually be able to surf down the backside of the wave and accelerate even more. Nice shot, nice aerial shot here as you can see them battling and barely any room between them. You can see how fast the skippers are walking down the dock to try to keep up with their boats. But it looks like we got John Tishingham rounding the final gate, heading to the inside. Quickly followed by Mark Dix in second. Gullison chooses to take the split to try to get an advantage to the outside. But you got Mark Dix heading up the middle and the final beat to the finish. Got some of the downwind boats coming. Hopefully our leaders can avoid them and make it to the finish line. Mark Dix choosing to get the split, but he's covered immediately by Tishingham. Pretty risky move coming back through the downwind boats, but it looks like Tishingham still got the lead. Mark Dix moving nicely upwind. Be interesting to see where Mark Gullison had the split here. He comes into our picture and has a nice angle to the mark on port. It'll be interesting to see if he can beat Tishingham and Dix. Oh, it looks like Tishingham did get held up by the downwind boats. Looks like Mark Dix has the advantage now. Mark Dix tacks over onto port, and it looks like he takes the line in first place. Wow, what a turn of events. Tishingham in second, and looks like Mark Gullison's going to finish in third for race 11A. Wow, just a fantastic battle there. So we've got the rest of the fleet coming up to the finish. Looks like it's going to be close here between Peter Allen in 00 and Jacco Keizer from the Netherlands. Peter Allen crosses ahead of Jacco. And we got a nice battle. Buzz Coleman looks like he's going a little more bow down and looks like he's able to cross the finish line just ahead of Danny Thomas from Maryland. Got Derek Priestley crossing up at the top of the screen, along with Des Fairbank. Crossing just behind is Steve Landau in 112, Peter Baldwin, and Gary Bowl from Richmond, California. Nice shot of Gary looking his boat across the line there. Close finish and just a fantastic race here at 11 Alpha. As we finish up, you can see Steve Washburn coming into the line, along with Eric Rosenbaum and Phil Burgess from Australia, going back down to Bravo Fleet. Great race here in 11 Alpha. We're queuing up for race 12 Charlie. Looks like the wind's picking up a little bit. Nice shot of our race committee checking out the line. Looks like there may be a protest or something headed to the desk. We'll let you know more about that when we know. But we're heading up into getting ready for race 12 Charlie.